Hi guys, this is Anuja Mariyam and welcome to the third exercise of database. Let's go to few questions. Exercise 3 is about aggregate and built-in functions like sum, max, average, etc. The first question or the first part of this exercise is to insert the following tuples in the given table, that is deposit, branch, customer and borrow. These four tables have been used before, and to those questions, to the already existing table, we give the values as given in this question. So I can show you that in the following command line software. So here we are inserting into the table deposit the following values. That is 106, that is for account number, customer name Sandeep, branch name Andheri, amount 2088, 31st March 96. Similarly, we create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5 new values. And to check if these values have been inserted, we show the table, that is, we describe the table, and it is given by the command select star from deposit, and we can see that the values, that is, the newly inputted values, that is from account number 106 to 109, has been inserted into the table called deposit. And the next table, that is the table branch, is also being given some values. We can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 new rows has been created in the table called branch under the attributes branch name and city. That is from MG Road, which is the branch name, and city Bangalore. Similarly, Nehru Place, Powai, and Dharampet. As well as 3 more values, which will, since it wouldn't fit in one row, we can see in the next section. MG Road, Bangalore, Nehru Place, Delhi, Mumbai, and Bombay. In total, 14 rows are there in this table. Now, coming to the next table called customer, we input values for the table customer under customer name and city. And here also we are inputting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new values. The 5 new values are starting from the customer name Pramod, whose city is Nagpur, then Sandeep, Shivani, Kranti, and Naren. Similarly, the same is done for the, excuse me, for the next table, that is borrow. Now coming down further, let's go to our questions. Our first question is to list the total loan amount taken by borrowers. So for total, we use the FAQ function called sum. Alright. So the query is select sum of what are we finding here? Finding the sum of amount. So we give sum of amount as sum underscore amount from the table name, that is borrow. We can see the output as sum underscore amount 2000. That is whatever we give here, we get it as the heading here, is the column number here. Now coming to the next question, find the total deposit done by depositors. So total is also again sum. So as we did in the previous question, we do it here, but find the total deposit done by depositors. A question is to write a query to find the total deposit of customers having account date later than 1st Jan 96. So as we used in the previous question, here also we are having a similar situation, that is later than. So it should be greater than. And for this question, again we have total deposit, total which corresponds to sum, and we have the query select sum of amount as sum underscore amount from the table name where a date, as we use the attribute as a date, attribute name as a date, and the date given, that is 1st Jan 96. Amount is given here, that is the output Now the next question is list the maximum deposit of customers living in Bombay. So for that question is here again. Before that, sorry, I missed the fifth question. Find the total deposit of customers living in city Nagpur. So this question is similar to the previous question, except that we have a condition here, that is the city should be Nagpur. So we give the question, we give the query as before, plus we give the where attribute, the where keyword, and the city Nagpur is mentioned, and the output is given here, that is some amount, and the value, that is the total amount, as 30,274. Now, next question, that is question number 6. List the maximum deposit of customers living in Bombay. So we use the aggregate function max for maximum, and this is how we go about it. Select maximum amount as max underscore amount from customer, comma deposit, where city is equal to Bombay, and we got the maximum amount, that is 7,000. Then coming to the next question. Find the total number of branch cities. So to find the total number, we use a keyword called count, not sum, since we are taking the number. So we have the query select count of city from branch, and we have the number, that is the count as 40. Now next is find the total number of customers cities. So the query that we give here is select count of city from the table name, that is customer, and we got the output as 10. The next question is to write a query to display the branch name and branch wise deposit. So we need to display both the branch name as well as the deposit amount as well. So we give the query as select branch name, that is B name, comma amount from table name, that is deposit. We have the output as follows here. VSC Amzadi corresponding to 10, Ashni 50, Karul Bak 35, and so on. Now the next question, give the branch wise deposit as customers after count date as 1st Jan 96. So we have the query here as select branch name, comma amount. These are the attributes that we need. From the table name, that is deposit, and the where attribute is given because we have a condition here, that is the account date should be greater, should be after 1st Jan 96. So we give greater than 1st Jan 96. So we have the output for it too. Now coming to the next question, find the total count of customers, that is the total number of customers from the table. Since we have the customer names in the table customer, we give the query select count of customer names, the name from customer, and we have the answer as 10. Next is find the total count of depositors. So instead of customer, we give the name as deposit, so we get the output as 9. And the next question is write this question, that is 13th question, is to write a query to find the maximum loan from the branch VRC, that is the maximum amount. So the query is select max, that is max is for maximum, to get the maximum value, and max of which attribute it is amount. So maximum amount from the table name. Table name is branch and deposit. So the answer is 7,000. Now let's go to the question 14. List the branches having sum of deposit more than 4,000. When it's more than 4,000, we give the query as select star. Star means all the details from the table name deposit where amount is greater than 4,000. And we have two customers, that is Kranti and Marina, account number having account number 108 and 109. Now the next question is to next question is to find the length of the string called DBMS. So the question what we use is we use the keyword length, which gives the length of whatever string we are giving. So here the string given is DBMS, it must be included in single quotes and we must give from dual. And the size is 4, which is correct. It's D1, D2, M3 and S4. The next question is to display the names of customers in uppercase. So here we give the aggregate function called upper, which converts uppercase to lower. Lowercase to upper, and if it's lower, we give lower, which converts uppercase to lower. Since we need the values in uppercase, we give select upper and customer name from the table name, that is customer. We have all these values which were previously in lower cases in upper cases. And coming to the next question. In the next question, we need to find the substring or extract the substring nil from the table, from the name Sunil. So in this question, you can see the question is display the substring nil from Sunil from the table deficit. So here we give select substring, the SUBSTR, that is the keyword, and the name with the string that we're using. The string which we're using has to be given in single quotes, that is Sunil, SUNLI, and NIL starts from the third position. So we give the starting position and the ending position from 12. So the required output is obtained. The next question is to sort the deposit table based on account number. So sorting can be done either in ascending order or descending order. Here in this question, I have opted to go for it in the ascending order. So the query is select star, that is all the details from the table name deposit in order by. Order by is the order. We mentioned the order after the keyword order by, and the column name is ACT, that is the account number, and ASC for ascending order. So we can see that the data has been sorted in ascending order. Now, for the next question is to use round and trunc function to round off and truncate the value 15.6789 from dual table. So by truncating, we give select trunc of the value from dual, and we get the output as 15. And select round 15.6789 from dual. Since 0.67 exceeds the value 0.5, that's half of it, it gets rounded off to the next number, that is 16. So with this, we've covered all the questions in the exercise 3, and thank you so much for watching the video.